everyone. To read a story. The title of this story is Colleen and the Leprechaun. Colleen goes to Ireland. Colleen was so excited. She had never been to Ireland before. She had never ever been on an airplane. Now she was here landing in Dublin, Ireland's capital city. Visiting her grandparents. She had never met them in person. She only talked to them on the phone and seen them in family pictures. As Colleen walked out of the airport, two strangers grabbed her and started hugging her. After a few seconds, she realized they were her grandparents. Colleen watched out the car window as the family drove by some field. Her grandpa said mysteriously, "Colleen, be sure to keep an eye out for the little people." "Little people?" questioned Colleen. "Who are the little people?" "The little people are the fairies," said Grandma as she drove. "Tales of the fairies back to Celtic times in Ireland and Scotland. We have many legend stories that tell about the fairies and their world." Colleen had heard about leprechaun before. "One of our great things about leprechaun "Yes, we do," said Grandpa. "There are many kinds of fairy. A leprechaun is one kind. He looks like a small, old man. He is not friendly, lives alone, and spends most of his time making soup." Colleen had heard about leprechaun before. "One of the great things about leprechaun," continued Grandma, "is that each one keeps a pot of gold. If you find a leprechaun, don't take your eyes off him," Grandpa warned. "Legend says that if you keep your eyes on him, the leprechaun will have to take you to his treasure." Grandma continued. "A long, long time ago," Grandpa said, "a man named Jack Frost found out the leprechaun could be tricky fellows." "Tell me about Jack Frost," said Colleen. Grandpa began to tell the story. Jack Frost was and along the road when he heard a sound in the hedgerow. He heard a suspicion about what that noise might be, and started to get very excited. He peeked over the hedge and saw that his suspicion was true. There was a little man wearing a leather apron, and he was using a tiny hammer the size of a pin to shape a tiny golden shoe. Jack knew at once that he had found a leprechaun. Jack crept close to the leprechaun and said good morning to him. The leprechaun smiled and said hello, and offered Jack a drink of wine. The leprechaun said, hoping Jack would look away. But Jack stared straight at the leprechaun and said, "No, thank you." They talked for a while. The leprechaun tried many ways to trick Jack into looking away, but Jack wasn't fooled. Jack demanded that the leprechaun take him to a pot of gold. Finally, the leprechaun gave up trying to trick Jack and took him to a field of dandelion. He showed Jack the flower that the treasure was buried under, but Jack did not have a shovel. Jack used one of his shoe socks to cover the dandelion and mark the spot. Then Jack went home to get a shovel. When Jack came back, every dandelion in the field had salt on it, and never did find the stalk that marked the buried pot of gold. Jack carried the stalk home and told his wife what happened. He said that at least he would not need a new sock for a while. Then they both started to laugh. Colleen and her parents started laughing too. Imagine a field full of salt, exclaimed Colleen. What a funny story. Colleen said that she was going to like learning about Ireland from her grandparents. This would be a great visit. What is a legend? A flower, B, an old story. C, a treasure. D, a special trip. I should be. What did the leprechaun do when he put a stalk on each dandelion? A, he helped Jack. B, he made Jack happy. C, he became rich. D, he tricked Jack. I should see. Which of the following traits does not describe leprechaun? A, tricky. B, likes to live alone. C, good at making shoes. D, friendly. I should see. How did Jack feel when he saw the leprechaun? A, happy, angry. C, happy. D, scared. I should see. What is the setting of the story? A, Ireland. B, a hedgerow. C, an airport. D, a dandelion field. I should say. Why didn't Jack find the buried pot of gold? A, every dandelion had salt on it. B, the dandelion disappeared. C, he didn't have a shovel. C, he looked away from the leprechaun. I choose I. What did the leprechaun do after Jack went home to get a shovel? A, he took Jack's salt off the dandelion. B, he pulled out the dandelion. C, he put salt on all the dandelion. D, he dug up the gold. I should see. What did Colleen do after she heard the story about the leprechaun? A, she wanted to hunt for leprechaun. B, she went to sleep. C, she started to laugh. D, she found a field of salt. I should see. Why do you think Colleen would like learning about Ireland? I should know she would get lots of presents. B, her grandparents like to tell funny stories. C, she wants to hear more stories about leprechaun. D, her parents will lead her to a buried treasure. I should be. Why was Colleen excited at the beginning of the story? A, she was going to meet her grandparents. B, she was about to visit Ireland. D, she was flying on the plane. D, all the above. I should see.
You did it. You passed. Click on the items with the red X and find a better answer to improve your score and earn more stars. Use the book as you take the quiz to help you find the best answer. When finished, click Done.
I got 9 of 10 correct. The end. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.